Hey everyone, just wanted to make a quick announcement. It's nothing that's gonna affect the channel majorly, but it's something I want to put out there for anyone that hasn't noticed the name change, and that's, well, I just said it. I've changed the name of the channel and all my social stuff. I've basically changed everything. And if it's not finished now, it'll be finished by the end of the day. Basically, I'm transitioning over from Nintendo Addict 8 to Logan 589XP. I'm doing this for a few reasons. The biggest one is that name, Nintendo Addict 8, doesn't fit my current mood, and it doesn't, fit me anymore. Back in, 2014 and stuff, when Smash Bros. Was the hypest thing out there and stuff like that, and Splatoon, that was one thing, but now it's there's nothing for Nintendo right now. Well, that's not quite true. I mean, there's Zelda, but of course that's not coming out until 2017 with the NX. And that's that's how it summarizes. There's nothing really for Nintendo right now. All it's now is just waiting for the NX. So it's yeah. Well, I guess it's not completely true. There isn't anything, but it's I'm not quite the Nintendo addict I was back in 2014, and I should have really not have called my channel that in the first place. The reason I called my channel that in the first place was because that was what my Xbox gamer tag was, and I didn't feel like spending $10 to change it, because for some reason Xbox charges you $10 to change your Xbox account, which is really stupid, but whatever. Another reason is that Nintendo is not the only thing I play. It's not I mean, Nintendo is my favorite video game company. They have the most exciting announcements, in my opinion, but they're definitely not the only one. I mean, I play more Xbox and PlayStation than I do Nintendo anything at this point. And you can blame that on the fact that there's nothing on the Wii U. And honestly, there's nothing at least I care about on the Wii U. I might try out Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I might try a Pokken Tournament, but far and large, there's not really a ton of big Wii U games left. The last big one that's coming out is Zelda, and that's going to be on the NX, so it's kind of well, what's the point of putting it on the Wii U? I mean, I get the reason why. They don't want to disappoint the fans that bought a Wii U for that game, but me, like everyone else, is going to just buy it on NX. That's the better version. I mean, think about it. Would you rather buy the version that has worse graphics, runs at 720p at 30 FPS with constant frame drops with no anti-aliasing, or play the newer version with better graphics, better resolution, and better frame rate? And it's going to get all the support because it's the main version. Kind of like how back in the day, Twilight Princess was originally announced for the GameCube, but it came to the Wii, and the second it was announced to come to the Wii, everyone forgot about the GameCube version. It's going to be the same thing again. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Breath of the Wild is going to be bad on Wii U, I'm just saying that most people, including me, are just going to buy it on NX anyway. And I'm going to say this, by the way, I think I've said this before, but if you're anyone's new to the channel, and you don't have a Wii U, but you're thinking about getting one, please don't. Or at least don't buy that full price. Buy it for $200 on Nintendo's online store, Amazon, or eBay or something. But don't buy it full price, because that's a ripoff right now, considering there's nothing new coming out that people are excited about. Yeah, it's just Color Splash, but most people don't really care about that at this point. But yeah, it's I've played more Xbox One in the past 6 months than I've ever played anything on the Wii U. Now, one big reason for this is because Dylan and Garrett, two friends I had back at, last year actually, they graduated. So that was because basically once I found Dylan and Garrett, they're two friends at my school back in 2014. We were we were all on the Smash hype train, and Nintendo was the best thing ever because there was Majora's Mask 3D, there was Smash, there was Xenoblade, there was Splatoon, they were on a roll back then. It's weird to say that a year ago was back then, but believe me, man, yeah, it was awesome. And then they graduated, and that was a big disappointment because they were the first Nintendo fans I've probably ever met in my entire life that liked Nintendo just as much as I have. Seriously, up until August of 2014, I have never met anyone except for maybe my brother, which even then he's not that big of a Nintendo fan at this point, who liked Nintendo as much as I did and was always excited for the next announcement, the next Direct. Smash, Mario Kart, Splatoon. They were the first ones that genuinely were like that, and then they graduated. So basically I just lost my only real Nintendo fan friends. And although I found a group to play Smash with, it wasn't nearly as fun or as enjoyable for me as when I was playing with Dylan and Garrett. Now, Dylan does have a Wii U, and I play with him on a fairly decent basis, but, you know, he's in college now, so sometimes I gotta wait because he's in the middle of something, or he has to do something, like, you know, it's not quite as, you know, as convenient as, like, when he was still at my school, when we could just be like, hey, you want to play Smash when we go home, or something like that? No, we can't do that anymore. I gotta wait. And even when I finally, like, if there's a direct or something, and I call him, he's always like, oh, I'm in the middle of something. So, we definitely still talk, we still play together, but it's not the same as back then. Splatoon came out, that was awesome, and I had to wait for him to get Splatoon, and then the death nail of the Wii U on June 16th, I think? Or was it June 12th? Or June 14th, whatever. And then at E3 2015, Nintendo declared the Wii U dead by not offering any other Wii U games except for Star Fox. Now, I know Mario Maker was technically one of them, but, you know, I'm talking about new exciting games that everyone was actually going to be hyped for. They had basically nothing. I'm not a Star Fox fan. I don't hate Star Fox, but I'm not a Star Fox fan, so I didn't really care about anything about Star Fox Zero. All they showed was mediocre 3DS and Wii U titles. Well, not. They weren't all mediocre. I mean, Triforce Heroes was pretty good, but, you know, you know, they didn't have the killer announcements they had at the previous E3. And after that point, I was like, well, the Wii U is dead. They're just waiting for the NX. But the reason why the Wii U stayed alive for me was Smash. Sakurai was teasing us month after month with new announcements. We got Cloud, then we got Bayonetta and Corrin, and that was it. That was it. And then after that, it was like, well, why do you buy a Wii U? What's the point of playing the thing? Well, I'm hitting on the Wii U a little too much here, but it's kind of like, after that E3, and knowing that Nintendo was no longer, it was basically Nintendo was just riding out the Wii U until the NX came out. There wasn't going to be anything new. I was like, I can't get excited for Nintendo stuff as much as I did back then because they abandoned the Wii U way earlier than it should have. And because of that reason, I didn't play Smash or Splatoon as much as I have. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love Splatoon and love Smash Bros. But it's not as fun as it was back in those days when Nintendo was like king or whatever. Well, not king, but like they felt like they were much more exciting. Because right now it's just kind of like, well, we got our Smash Bros. Content, and well, that's about it. Hopefully, yeah. And then I finally, after 2 years, two years of waiting, I finally got an Xbox One. I was able to play some of the newer games because I didn't have a newer console. I didn't have an Xbox One or a PS4. What I did have was a 360. Because the 360 was basically my main gaming console from 2013 to basically December 2015. The Wii U was like a side console. It was the one I was most excited for, but I played way more of Xbox than I ever did the Wii U. And that's solely because there's more people that I know that play Xbox than have a Wii U. See, that's my biggest problem with the Wii U not selling well. The problem with that is that there's less people to play with. You see my problem? I only have 2 friends that actually have Wii U and actually play the thing. HG Hydra, or to be specific, Amir, and then Dylan, my friend from school. That's literally it. You see the problem with there? So I played way more Black Ops 2, GTA 5, etc. on my 360 than I ever did the Wii U. Until Smash came out, but even then I still played the 360 more. And then I got the Xbox One, which at first was awesome, but here's my problem with the Xbox One. The one problem with the Xbox One I thought wasn't going to be a problem at all is actually the resolution, which is weird because I was almost one of those people that was like, oh, resolution isn't a big deal. I won't be able to see a difference between 900 and 1080. Oh, on this TV, you can see a difference between 900p and 1080p. For reference, Advanced Warfare runs at like 1328 by 1080. Black Ops 3 runs at lower resolution and has fuzziness on the edges. You know how weird it is? 900p on consoles looks worse than 900p on PC. It's weird, but I think it's because of some kind of weird anti-aliasing technique or something. Point is, the Xbox One, although I definitely enjoy it and I still play it more than the Wii U, was definitely a little bit of disappointment in terms of the graphics because I didn't think I was going to be able to see the difference. Because you know that whole thing about, well, you won't be able to see the difference between 720, 980, 900, 1080. Yeah, I thought I wasn't going to be able to see the difference. But I can. I really can. And that bothers me. Which is one of the reasons why I was excited that at E3, Microsoft announced that the Scorpio was going to come out. But then I thought, wait. Never mind the price, what the specs will actually be. That's coming out in 2017. By the end of 2016, my gaming PC will be finished. And to be real here, I don't play Xbox One with like anyone else. Very rarely. Sometimes I play with my brothers, sometimes I play with HG Hydrant, sometimes I play with random people, some of my other friends, but most of the time, 99.9% of the time, I am playing this thing by myself. So what's the point? Because the whole reason I wanted the Xbox One over the PS4 was because I could play with my friends. That was the only reason I wanted an Xbox One, aside from Halo 5. But aside from Halo 5 and being able to play with my friends, I would have just won with PS4. But I got Xbox One. And once again, I like Xbox One. I'm not trying to hate on it. But I'm sorry, but the resolution thing really bothers me. Advanced Warfare, for example, games like that run at like between 900 and 1080 look basically the same. But anything below 900, anything 900 or lower just bothers me. But what's weird is that if I use the Xbox One on a different TV, it looks the same. Like if I play like Splatoon, or like, let's use the Wii U for example. Splatoon runs at 720p, 60 FPS with no anti-aliasing. If you play it on the TV in my living room, it looks like it's running at 1080p with like 4x MSAA. It's weird. It's cool, but it's weird. But the TV I'm using for as a monitor, what I'm pointing my hands at right now, I'm staring at, it looks worse. When it's 1080p, it looks nice. But if it's anything lower than 1080p, it looks like garbage. So it's like, ugh. Although I'm sure some of the PC fans out there are probably excited that I was disappointed with the Xbox One. Because, once again, I liked the thing. But it was still a disappointment because I didn't think I was going to be able to notice the resolution. And whenever I play the Xbox, that's the first thing I notice. It's not the game, it's the resolution. Which is weird, because whenever I played on the 360, I didn't notice it. Like, I could see it, but it didn't bother me. Because it wasn't variable. Because most games on 360 ran at 720p or 600p. It wasn't variable from like 720 to 900 to something in between the 1080. Like, it wasn't variable. It was basically the same thing, so I got used to it. But for some reason, the Xbox One, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Point is, partly due to the fact that I need a new computer to begin with, and the fact that the Xbox One was and still is a little bit of a disappointment. Once again, I liked the thing, but it was still a disappointment. It inspired me to finally get my computer finished, or at least start building it. And yeah, the computer's basically finished except for the graphics cards. Once I get that, it's like, whoopity-doo, the Xbox One at that point. Because it's like, oh, I'm going to be playing on PC anyway. And HG Hydra has that Alienware laptop. So as far as being able to play with anyone, whoopity-doo, I can just play with them on PC. The Xbox One, well, actually, that's not quite true, because at E3, I talked about this in my previous discussion, too. Yeah, they announced that the Xbox is going to have that Play Everywhere program, where like if you buy a game on Xbox One, you get it on PC and vice versa. Your save data will go across between, your DLC goes across between, and you can play with each other depending on no matter what the platform. That's awesome, but that's only for first-party games. If we can get that working for, say, I don't know, Call of Duty or something like that, or if I was playing Black Ops 3 on the Xbox, or if like my friends were playing on Xbox One, if I was playing on PC and we could play together, then that would make the Xbox One literally irrelevant. That is the only reason I have it. Normally I would say exclusives, but as we all know, every game is now Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive. So it's like, just play it on PC, and they're all cross-play anyway, so whoopity-doo. So the only reason for me to even have this is to play with my friends. But the resolution bothers me so much. I don't want it to. I really don't want to. Because on the 360 games ran at like 600p. But that didn't bother me. But for some reason this does, and I think I know the reason why. If a 360 game makes it to 720p, that's impressive. But if an Xbox One game is at 720p, that's like a disappointment, because it's like, well, this is a new console, it shouldn't be stuck at 720p. even if the graphics themselves are far better than 360, like Battlefield 4, for example. That game, Battlefield 4, Hardline, and Battlefront, the DICE games, basically, all of DICE's games that runs on Frostbite 3. They all look way better on Xbox One than any of their 360 games, but they're still crippled by the fact that they're 720p. So it doesn't feel like it's that big of an improvement. You know, maybe it is true that the Xbox is kind of irrelevant, because it's like, well, you can get all the exclusives on PC. With the exception of Halo 5, every game is on PC. So what's the reason to buy this? To be able to play with your friends. That's literally the only reason to buy one of these. Whereas on the other hand, well, I don't have a PS4 controller, but on the other hand, PlayStation is really amazing right now, because they actually have exclusives, like real exclusives, that don't come to PC, which is, I'd still rather they be on PC, but you know, they have exclusives, and of course, right now, PlayStation is the market holder. They have sold 40 million, whereas Xbox has sold 20 million, and of course, the Wii U has only sold like 12.5 or something like that. So PlayStation is on a roll, and there's actually a reason to buy one, because one, every game except for like 1 or 2 runs at 1080p. 2, it has the bigger install base. 3, it gets all the exclusivity deals, and 4, it has more exclusives that are real exclusives and not like PlayStation 4 and PC or something like that. No, they're real exclusives. Makes me wonder why I bought an Xbox One. Once again, I don't hate the console. When the resolution isn't a problem, I like it a lot. But you got to admit that there's a more compelling reason to buy a PlayStation 4 than Xbox One at this point. Especially if you have a gaming PC, and there's literally no reason to buy an Xbox One, because you can get all the exclusives on PC, and you can still play with your friends on Xbox. So what's the point of buying a... yeah. But there is still one thing here. Xbox Scorpio and PS4 Neo. A lot of people don't like the idea of there being, you know, mid-generation releases of these two consoles. I know this is a PS3 controller. I don't have a PS4 controller yet. I want to get one for my PlayStation TV, but I just have this PS3 one, but whatever. But you get the point of PlayStation, whatever. And I know a lot of people don't like the idea, because it's kind of like, well, if there's going to be upgrade cycles in the consoles, then what's the point? Just buy a PC. And that's what I've been realizing. I think I'm going to start, once I get the computer finished, and every game becomes Xbox crossplay and all that stuff, why am I ever going to need to buy a console? At least the Xbox. There's no point. I probably won't even buy the Scorpio, even though the biggest reason I want the Scorpio is so I can run at higher resolutions and higher frame rates. But once again, what's the point of that if we have PCs? They do that, but even better, 1440p, 1440p, 4K, mods, keyboard and mouse. Like, what's the point? But I am going to buy a PS4. For one reason, Ni no Kuni 2. A level 5 game, just like Yokai Watch, although not the same type of game. But it's made by level 5. The same people that made Yokai Watch. Which you think would be a good enough reason for me to want it, but I've actually seen this game. I've watched Stampy, yes, like that Stampy, like the one that plays Minecraft and stuff. I saw him play it on the PS3. I really liked it, and this is before I even knew what Yokai Watch even was. Like, just like 2013-ish, or something like that. So, Ni no Kuni 1 on PS3. That was pretty awesome. I never played it, but I watched him play it, and it was amazing. And I want to play the second one really badly, but, for starters, it's a level 5 game. And why is that important to note? Because, as we all know, with both Yokai Watch and Inazuma and every other game they make, they get it in, like, Japan, then we have to wait, like, 2 years, which is a ripoff, for a game that, realistically, shouldn't take 2 years to translate. Yokai Watch took 2 years to translate. It came out in 2013, didn't come out here until 2015. And now the second game is coming out less than a year after the first game came out, and it's like, come on. I mean, I get Nintendo translated that one, but still, it's like, come on. That's way too long. Okay, I think I've got massively sidetracked, so I'm gonna leave this entire thing in, because it's all true. You know, whatever. But yeah, basically that entire thing was basically just me saying that the name Nintendo Act 8 does not represent me anymore. And for that reason, there's no reason to even have the name. I'm gonna change it to something else, which I have. Logan 589 XP. Of course, that's just a name. It's not supposed to mean anything. but I didn't want it to be Nintendo Act 8 anymore, when I want to be able to cover and do more gameplay videos, just, be able to do more stuff on the other consoles and also PC. Once again, Nintendo, I still love Nintendo, but you can't deny that they have done a lot wrong in the past few years, especially with supporting the Wii U's lineup. Basically, after Splatoon, they basically just said, screw it, we're going to wait for the NX. So yeah, the last game I bought on Wii U was Mario Maker, but the last one I was really excited for was Splatoon. And that was in May of 2015. It is almost June, no, it's almost July of 2016. And the last Splatfest between Callie and Marie is going to be happening in a few weeks. It's sad that Splatoon's ending early, but at least that does give credence to the whole Splatoon 2 thing on NX or something like that. This has been a long video, but I just had to make that whole rant about Xbox, or at least, like, kind of like complaint, like, I just kind of had to, I know I got, like, sidetracked, but it's like, I just had to talk about the other two, because it's like, the other two, I just had to talk about, okay? Because, yeah, the name Nintendo Act 8 does not work anymore. Maybe back then, but now, with my interest in other consoles, in PC, that name does not work anymore. It does not represent me or this channel. For the foreseeable future, Logan589XP or some form of that name will be the name of this channel. But, for all intents and purposes, I'm just Logan. That's the name. This is what I like doing. I like making videos, I like doing live streams, and I love playing games. Regardless of whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, Wii U, PC, it doesn't matter. I'll play older consoles. I have my GameCube and my original Wii, my DS. I have a bunch of classic controllers buried in here. Regardless of platform, I love games, and I don't want to limit myself to just one console. I never wanted to do that, at least up until recently. Well, I mean, Nintendo was never a huge console. I mean, at least the Wii U wasn't, and that's solely because they take so long to release games. I bought the Wii U for Smash and Smash alone, and that game didn't come out until 2 years after the console came out. And then by the time that game came out, 4 months later, Iwata was like, hey guys, new console, the NX. It's coming sometime, eventually. And I was like, well, you just obsoleted your console 4 months after releasing the biggest game on the console that so many people bought the system for. Okay, we need to cut this video short already because I think I've been talking for way too long. Point is, I don't limit myself to just Nintendo, because I love all the consoles. I like the PC. I like everything that's gaming. I don't want to limit myself to just Nintendo. So there's no point in me calling myself Nintendo Act 8 anymore. I'm not saying the name is bad, it just doesn't represent me anymore. It doesn't. Because 2013, 2014, I was just Nintendo with Xbox on the side, but I was mainly a Nintendo. Nowadays, it's like, this game, I'm excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ni no Kuni 2, and a few other games on PlayStation. I'm excited to see what Gears of War 4 brings to the table on Xbox and PC. And of course, I want to be able to do mods and stuff like that on PC as well for like games like World at War and Minecraft and whatnot. And also being able to experience games in much higher resolutions and frame rates and graphics. And, way more than any of the consoles can. Even the Scorpio can't compete the PC. It can come close. It might be as powerful as like a 1070 or something like that, which is what I'm going to be having in this computer anyway, but it's like, even then, it's like, well, why buy a console that has the same capabilities? You can just buy a PC. I'm sorry if I sound like so much of like a PC master race type of person here, but really, what's the point of buying a console? I mean, I get the reason why. I've heard it a billion times on the internet, I've heard it from a lot of people, and I understand it. The whole thing of it, consoles sell for two things: price and simplicity. The biggest reason, I don't think it's even simplicity. I mean, I got the reason why you just want to be able to grab your controller, turn on the console, put in the disc, put in the cartridge, whatever, and just play. Oh, yeah, lights are flashing. Just be able to play. That's all you want to be able to do. And I understand the appeal of that. But I'm tired of limitations of consoles on both Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation's front. resolutions and frame rates are bothering me way more than they have in the past. And I've also been I've been dying to try mods and other programs. Plus, now that I have this YouTube channel, it was the perfect excuse to finally get the computer built. Because I want to be able to make better videos for you guys. Because at the end of the day, this channel is nothing without you guys. Nothing. Without you guys, there would be no point in making these videos. But because you guys constantly watch my videos all the time, and you talk to me all the time on Twitter, this channel has a purpose. I want to be able to do more videos on stuff than just Nintendo. Because even though Nintendo's awesome, sometimes they're awesome, sometimes they're really annoying. But at the end of the day, there's way more to gaming than just Nintendo. And I wanted to emphasize that fully by changing the name. I don't even know, this video is probably like 20 minutes long, I don't even know, but yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop now, I promise. So yeah, name is being changed, because I want to be able to expand from Nintendo officially. I've kind of done it before, like I've had Black Ops 3 gameplay in the background stuff, but I want to make it official now. This channel is not just Nintendo. It never really was to begin with, I just liked the name, but it's time to finalize that change. Because once again, like I said, there's way more gaming than just Nintendo, and I want to be able to cover a lot of my favorite franchises on other platforms that's not Nintendo. Once again, Nintendo's still going to be a very big part of the channel. Nintendo is still my favorite company, but they've been screwing up a lot recently, and basically, what's Nintendo right now? 4 words. Wait, no. What summarizes Nintendo right now? 3 words. Wait for NX. That is all Nintendo is right now, basically. Right now, it's kind of like they're smashing Splatoon, which I like. Don't get me wrong, I like that. And I'd like to do like online tournaments or something like that at some point. But it's kind of like, you know, there's nothing exciting because we're waiting on NX. So that's all Nintendo is right now. It's just wait for NX. We don't know anything on NX. So until then, why not play other platforms? I mean, that's what I've been doing my entire life anyway. I've never just played Nintendo. But it's like, come on. Okay, we're gonna stop now, I promise. Like, really, I'm gonna stop. So yeah, point is, name is being changed because I want to change the way this channel is and my output on myself or whatever. So yeah. Just want to make that change because it better represents that I'm not just Nintendo. And there's a lot more stuff I want to do on this channel than just Nintendo. You know, with this long discussion being said, this is Logan, signing out. And I will see you guys in the next video.